Schwan, you remember the message I shared in Taiwan on Matthew chapter 13? Mm-hmm. Jesus is telling the parable of the sower and the seeds. And one of the takeaways that I got from that was when you're farming, when you're planting seeds, if you give the seeds a healthy environment, they're going to produce a crop. And if you don't, they're going to die. I think a lot of people, they hear about this new stuff that we're trying out and they get really confused. Like, you're making a TV show. What does this have to do with missions? I don't understand. It seems like wonky fruit, as I've heard Michael Miller say. And I don't think this is the fruit. I think this is the environment being cultivated. I think oftentimes with missions, people try and hold the seed really tight. That is in this case, I'll call it the opportunity that God has given them to do His work. And they try and decide what that's going to look like. And I don't want to do that. I think God has given me the seed, and I don't really get a choice in what the fruit looks like, right? He has already decided. And the best I can do is make the environment. That's something that He has entrusted, go forth with, and something I want to do faithfully. So, yeah, that's just sort of the attitude I'm taking towards this. I'm very excited to see the kind of fruit that's going to come out of this place. Because it's new and it's unique and it's something that not a lot of people have explored before, and specifically in missionary terms. Yeah, let me show you guys some of what we're working on with this set. So this is what it looks like right now. I just took this picture. We got materials delivered on Tuesday. I'm going to start building the set. This place has seen a huge transformation since we went and cleaned it up. You saw it, Hannah. Yeah. It's sort of like sitcom style set, you know. Mm-hmm. So you can see there are several good camera angles. I like a program like this where you can see the 3D. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah. So this is kind of what we're working with, like a platform here with the instruments and a bar over here serving all kinds of Mountain Dew, and the entrance door, big entrance door will be right there. So I like how that's looking. In addition to the set, we're hosting writing meetings to write some scripts, and those have been going incredibly well. So me and David and Asher's been in on these, and Jonathan Graham, and it's been really productive. We've been coming up with really creative stuff. I've found that a lot of times with this group of people, it's like crazy idea session. It just goes all over the place, and then throughout the week I kind of refine those into dialogue and actual scenes, you know. And it's been working really well. We've kind of got a flow to it. We're coming up with some really funny stuff. So we'll be building the set, finishing some scripts, and like 5 or so episodes, just a pilot. And then from that point, we want to start doing some marketing and advertising. I'd like to get somebody whose sole job in this enterprise it is to just do social media. I think that works best when somebody's really focused on it. We'll need that. We'll probably do like a Patreon, get people involved in it and interested in it, and maybe some behind the scenes content, whatever that means, and probably a website at some point. Schwan, I might be looking to you for that.
I did see that little parenthetical note with question mark on
website.
Website.
From that point, we need crew, like cameramen, somebody who can work with lighting and audio and all that kind of stuff. And hopefully we can start like full production filming in the winter, maybe toward the beginning of next year. So we'll see how that goes, but I'm really excited for this. It's really awesome. To me, this is just one of many such projects I'd like to see as a sort of doorway for people to come in and feel comfortable creating and open to new ideas. I want to make a lot of those sort of opportunities for artists to come in and be a part of things, and who knows, get in groups that I call here sort of creative people communities. So here I have a list of potential projects that I'd like to see come out next. So I think the defining factor in these groups, if we want them to be ultimately discipleship programs, I guess, is you have people who are quote unquote Jesus smuggling into the groups. This is a phrase that I heard used in a philosophical debate, and they said, okay, during the debate, we're not going to have any Jesus smuggling. You can't just pull in Jesus when you can't answer the question, and this kind of thing, which I think they overused. But I like twisting that phrase to mean a positive thing. So now we're going to be operating as the Jesus smugglers in these groups of people. We're very nonchalant, just coming alongside people, talking with them, hanging out, doing something that we know they love, and maybe asking some questions here and there. You know, it just starts out very small and increases over time. I think that's going to be very valuable with people our age. A real personal connection, you know, and see what sprouts out of that. So here are a couple projects I'd like to see come out. We have the LincWay Art Studio over there. They offered to let us use that several days a week that they're not using it. I'd like to see something start where we host artists just to talk about what they do. Like a painter can come and display some of their paintings, and maybe interview style we can go through what are your inspirations, how did you come up with these ideas, what are your techniques, and that kind of thing. And that would bring in artists to come learn from them, and that would give the artist, the spotlighted artist, more exposure, you know. So it's kind of helpful for everyone all around. And, potentially they could give classes, you know, and we can have like maybe discussions in this area, have people give presentations about art, that sort of thing. I want to see some of that start happening. So there's one project. Another project, I want to just have groups of people, like small groups, I guess, sort of loosely focused on artistic things, like, hey, we're just going to get together and watch a movie and then talk about it. Something like that. We're just going to get together, and we've been having questions about what it means to be creative, and we want to have discussion, you know, and you just get together and you have food and you have a good time. And I personally think that artists, the artists that I've known, would really love to be a part of something like that. I mean, I like talking about symbolism and archetypal analysis and stuff like that, and it bores most people to tears. But I know people who are just like fascinated with that and love talking about it. And it'd be cool to see that happen in little groups, you know. And you know, maybe these are all connected somehow. We can have like big group events with these little pockets come together in a place. I'd love to see some kind of hub where we can come together in a central place and maybe explore and create together. Who knows what could come out of there. Finally, I'd love to see some actual doing of these projects. So just like the show here, see some people actually start implementing the art, because that's really what's going to draw people in. That's the bait, is what I said here. So get them doing what they love, and then get them involved with a bunch of Christians. That's basically the mandate here. So doing theater, doing TV, live music, that kind of thing, with artists who aren't necessarily Christian, because that can get really weird. They're really weird people, those artists. If they're not Christian, and often if they are, they're really, really weird. So it's a strange place to be stepping into, but they need reach just like anybody else does. And because they're seeking influence, I think all the more they need to be reached. So giving them something to participate in, that's going to draw them in. You know, like shooting this show, if we need cameramen, colleges are a really good place to go, because people going for media production need something to put on their resume, you know. So this is a little project that they can be a part of, you know. Finally, I think something I want to start doing is scouting talent at some artistic things, I guess. Go out and find some people in the area who are doing these creative things, and you know, maybe go see a theater production somewhere and figure out who did you like the most, and then go talk to them after. Be like, hey, are you from around here? You know, what do you do? You're really good up there, and I like what you do, and we kind of have a group of people who are into the same sort of thing. Let me connect you with somebody who's on a similar path as you, that kind of thing. I think it's a good way to start drawing people in. I think this is all really focusing on just drawing people to a place where discipleship can then begin. That's sort of where I feel my place is. And from that point, I'd like to connect them with more people who, maybe in that barn group, who can really help them cultivate their walk of faith. If they're at that place where they're like, okay, I want to start being intentional about, who is God, who's Jesus, that kind of stuff. Send them to places that can really help continue cultivating the good soil for the seed. So yeah, these are some projects I'd like to see get started. This is just the first crack of the door. Get a foot in the door, and see what comes after that. So yeah, I think we should discuss what we can do about some of these projects, just to get started, see what we can come up with for that. And that will be just those of us who are here. For those of you who are just watching, you're going to have to come in person if you want to be a part of those. So yeah, there you go. That's my little update. Being faithful with what little sometimes God gives you can go a very long way. So I'm really excited for this. I'm happy to be doing something that I know I have kind of expertise in, and I think God has given expertise for a good reason, and it needs to be used for His purposes. So yeah, alrighty, that's what I got, and now we will discuss.